Hi everybody, this is Jessica Alstrom from Transcendence Wellness Center, and today I am going to be talking about PTSD and some technology that we use here at Transcendence to heal and recover quickly from any type of trauma. We are big educators here at Transcendence. About 90% of what we do at Transcendence is teach self-healing. And we also work with a ton of PTSD. I wanted to kind of elaborate on our views of PTSD, not to take away from our amazing veterans, but from my experience being a intuitive life coach and medical intuitive for the last 10 years, I have not met anyone who did not have some level of PTSD. It's not always a car accident or explosions. It can be humiliation. It can be emotional abuse. It can be physical abuse. It could be a car accident. It could be sitting at a desk for more than 4 hours a day. Any sort of trauma that basically disconnects the brain and the body from working together creates a trigger. And it creates a trigger on the timeline that is manifested in moments of duress or stress. If you've ever, here's a perfect example, if you've ever been, in a relationship and all of a sudden something triggers you and immediately you get filled with anger and you're not exactly sure the logic of where it's coming. That's coming from a post-traumatic event from the past where there was an emotional charge there that had not been cleared. So really at Transcendence, we're really focusing on brain-body wellness, not just brain-body wellness. We really are big educators in the mind and spirit as well here. But today I wanted to talk about the 3 types of trauma that are developed over a lifetime. And I will say that a lot of this trauma is developed in the first 7 years of life. Not being allowed to be yourself completely, not allowed to feel your feelings, not allowed to cry, not having what you need maybe as far as nurturing or over-nurturing. These are all traumas to the body. These are all traumas to the mind. And so at every 7-year cycle, the body and the mind learn how to be a person in the reality that they've created. So whether they learn to manipulate to get attention, or they shut down, or they start self-abusing, these are all patterns of post-traumatic stress. And post-traumatic stress affects all of us. An example of chemical PTSD would be, too many antibiotics over a lifetime, too many steroid injections, unclean food products, a lot of preservatives, alcohol, any sort of drugs. And we have to remember that we're putting a lot of synthetic material into the body that the body does not register as food or medicine. And therefore it is creating a trauma between the brain-body connection, and it is messing with our hormone function. So we categorize that as trauma. And that is a chemical trauma in the body. Drinking, bad water. These are how allergies are developed over time. If you've ever wondered how all of a sudden you have an allergy at 35 years old when before you didn't have an allergy, this is because there's enough chemical trauma in the body where the immune system starts to basically go after the wrong issues. And that's coming from a brain-body connection. The brain is the central command system for the entire body, and when those circuits in the brain start to misfire and trigger, then the body cannot receive the proper information. The body receives the information in the form of hormones. So a lot of women come into me and say, my hormones are messed up. I said, no, it's actually coming from your thoughts, because your thoughts are communicating to your brain is communicating to the body through your nervous system. And there's any time of post-traumatic stress leaves your body in what's called chronic fight or flight. Chronic fight or flight is going to be releasing a ton of adrenaline and cortisol into your body. What that's going to feel like is you're going to feel worrisome and tired. That's what that feels like. Constant worry, living in the past, worrying about the future, but then an exhaustion, especially in the morning time, getting really exhausted. That's adrenal fatigue. That means your adrenal glands have just been pumping out of stress. And if this developed in childhood, which I would say a lot of it did for most of us, these patterns have basically created what's called neural pathways in the brain. The neural pathways are the signal, right? They are the downloaded information. And once that information is downloaded, the body believes what the brain is saying. So if I'm a child and I keep hearing that I'm not good enough, or I need to be quiet, or I need to not feel my feelings, I'm going to develop a neural pathway that is going to constantly tell my body that I am not allowed to be who I am. So in order for us to really, really repair those neural pathways and create change, there's a couple of different ways, and I want to kind of go through that. But I want to also go back and talk about the other two forms of trauma before I get into the solutions. So the other two forms of trauma would be physical trauma. That could be like a car accident, or falling down, or being hit, or any sort of accident. Even when we bump against the wall, some of our cellular tissue die. So if we're in a traumatic situation where there's emotion connected to that, it's going to really download as a big trauma in our bodies. One of the things that people don't realize is sitting at a desk all day long, hunched over, or looking at our phone all the time, it starts to shift the way that our bodies flow energy, and our nervous system begins to move into a pattern that it's not normally, it's not fluid energy moving through the body all the way down, and we have circulation issues. This is causing trauma to your body because it's not allowed to do what it was designed to do, which is flow energy up and down. The third type is emotional, and I will tell you that this is the big one. I would say that the biggest problem with our level of disease in the United States and in the world is emotional trauma. And emotional trauma is really what we focus on here. We do a lot of work with pain. We do a lot of work with chemical trauma, but we're really wanting to find the root cause, and about 60% of what we're seeing in here is emotional trauma. And this is something that as an adult you might say, oh, that wasn't a big deal, that happened to me, but just think back over your relationships, think back over your childhood, think back over anything that could have possibly disoriented you from who you authentically are, and taught you that you weren't allowed to be who you wanted to be or needed to be. And that is emotional trauma. Emotional trauma can come from humiliation, being bullied, being told what to do, not allowing to be yourself. We all have it, and this is really where we want to be able to heal that and go back into that brain downloaded program of, so basically something you hear over and over and over again, you're going to start believing it. Just like when you learned to tie your shoes, you did it over and over and over and over again, and your body learned how to tie your shoes, and now you can do it without you consciously being involved. That's what a neural pathway is. And we don't realize it, but emotional neural pathways are very much flowing through your whole system, telling you who you are. So consciously you could think, oh, I want this great life, I want healthy relationships, I want a lot of money. And the body is saying, no, we're addicted because we're not allowed to be who we want, and I'm not safe, and I don't have what I need, and I don't deserve what I need, and I'm not lovable, and nobody sees me for who I am. And that is really, really what breaks the body down, because the cells are holding the memory of that trauma. So back to the neural pathways. The neural pathways is where behavior is. Look at your behavior in your life. What do you do throughout the day? Where do you just go unconsciously? What do you eat? How do you talk to people? How do you talk to yourself? How is the condition of your home? How is the condition of your work? What is your work ethic? All of these things you can look at and look at your behavior and find exactly where your PTSD is. Based on what you're craving, what you're doing, what you're saying, where you're triggered, who triggers you, what is that about? So here at Transcendence, we're big educators on doing a lot of trigger work. We teach a lot of emotional release. We teach a lot of detox and nutrition. We teach a lot of healthy parenting, manifesting reality, numerous workshops based on healing this view of ourselves. The technology that we're using here at Transcendence is top of the line. It's cutting edge. That's all we would ever have here. And it was created by Dr. Patrick Porter, who is been working on this material for 25, 30 years, and you can definitely Google him and do your research on him. I'm not going to jump into that now. I want to really show you guys this technology, because this technology is basically helping us reprogram the brain and all of this PTSD very, very quickly. So instead of having to practice, which is what you would need to do to create a new behavior, like going on a diet or going to the gym or giving up smoking, a lot of times that's very difficult because you're fighting against your own PTSD. This is a device that basically changes the brain waves into a heal, reboot, and repair idea. And I want to show you the device. This is what it looks like. Okay? It's very cool. It's like Star Trek-y. It has lights in the ears. It has blinking lights in the eyes. It's very comfortable. I use it every day. And then basically it's hooked into, you're downloading the program onto an app, onto your smartphone or your tablet or your laptop. And at any given moment, you can just do a search and find the program that you want to play and go ahead and play it and start your MindFit anywhere. We actually took this on the plane with us when we traveled last week and did it on the airplane. So it's very mobile. I want to talk to you about what the lights and the purpose of the lights are for. The lights in the ears are basically designed, if anybody's done their homework, light and sound therapy is where it's at. It is the fastest way to heal and reboot the entire system is tone and sound. Okay, so this is what this device is it's tone and sound healing. It has frequencies built in that change brain waves into what's called a theta pattern. This theta is going to be the type of brainwave where your body can move out of fight or flight and into heal, repair, and reboot. What that means is your immune system is going to turn on. Your metabolism is going to turn on. Your body is going to start working, okay? And when you're stressed out all the time, your body is not working at its peak performance because it is busy being in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you're not growing your body, you're not healing your body, and your body is aging very quickly. So this technology right here in the ears is kind of like, I call it the built-in acupuncture system. It's very precise position where the lights are in the ears, and they work on the entire meridian system. Now, anybody who has had acupuncture in the past knows that when you get the needles put in, it's for an emotional release. So that's the purpose of this. It's getting towards all of your meridians in the body to release stored emotion. Okay? So the light that are blinking in the eyes, okay, that is completely in sync with the binaural beats that are playing through the earphones. The binaural beats are what's going to be reprogramming the brain. They're going to be getting your brain into a theta brainwave to get everything slowed down. It's that place of meditation. So if you can't meditate, this is your device. Meditation is the fastest way to heal PTSD. And so this is what this technology is going to put your whole system in meditation between 3 and 7 minutes, regardless if you can't stop thinking. So you don't have to be a meditator in order to use this device and get instant results. So the other cool thing about this is that not only are you getting the sound and tone healing and the binaural beats, so you're getting the frequency of theta, but you're also getting the messages. And we know that what we're working on with this device is subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is where all of your behavior patterns and all of your PTSD reside. So this technology also has built-in affirmations. And the affirmations are there to build the new neuroplasticity, the new command, the new idea, the new memory in your body to let you know that instead of I'm not good enough, you're going to have a new story into your cellular tissue. And this story is what's going to generate your focus and your behavior in your life. Okay? So it's really important. So it's basically 4 healing modalities in one. I will tell you that I'm a very big advocate of self-healing. And if you can't meditate, if you can't sit and meditate, or you don't have a safe space to do that, you're really not going to ever move out of your PTSD or out of fight or flight. Therefore, your body's not really going to heal. Until you really shut your body down and get it healing, it's not going to do or be what you need it to be. So this is great technology for that. And as a medical intuitive, I have been watching people on this device. I use it myself because I can feel the shifts in my body, but I'm watching brain waves change. I'm watching new neuroplasticity form. The brain is plastic. It's designed to rewire and tell new stories constantly. So we have this potential to be able to do this in 1 to several sessions. Most people notice results after 1 session. Some of the things that we're working on in the center here is weight loss, addiction, sales mastery, pain, wealth consciousness, meditation, children's series, autism. It's a lot about what we're really dealing with in our real life. You know, we're all on our spiritual journey, but the 4 things that really get affected by PTSD are time management, issues in relationships, money issues or wealth issues, feelings of lack, and self-love and how we feel about ourselves. So that's really where we want to focus. At Transcendence, we really want to give people tools to master their life here, not just go on a spiritual journey and leave the reality. We want their reality to be heaven on earth. We want them to be able to generate and create anything that they would want to create. And as long as your brain is on board, you will see the reality in front of you that you want. Your brain is very much in control of your 5 senses. Everything you smell, everything you see, everything you touch, everything you notice is all about the programs that are running in your brain. And you can only see a version of reality based on the programming in the brain. So if you want to see a new reality or think a different way, you've got to reprogram your brain first, because that is actually what builds your reality. And that's what we're doing here, is we're giving people that extra help in order to do this a lot quicker than just having to try to practice their way out of a pattern or a belief or go through years and years of therapy. Here at Transcendence, we're really big advocates of helping our veterans and our children with extrasensory or sensory issues such as autism. Anytime you're in our area, come for a free session. Just call, get on our schedule. We are always doing free sessions for our veterans and our kids. This technology is really, really helping our kids. With autism, it's an alpha and a theta brainwave that really needs to align so that they're always going to be who they are, but they will be more functioning and be able to focus more on certain tasks and calm down and feel safe. So this technology is actually helping our autistic kids go back to school without paras. So it's pretty awesome technology. And well, thanks for joining me. I will be answering questions via email, or go ahead and give us a call at the center. Oh, Susie wants me to talk about also police officers, EMTs, firefighters. If you guys are in our area, please give us a call for free. Come and have some sessions with us. We know you guys are at the front line of seeing all of the trauma and experiencing it all. So we want to really make sure that you guys are taken care of, and we have this technology set up in our center for you to have anytime. I want to wrap with one thing. You can take this technology home. And the reason that I would recommend that is because your brain learns very quickly, and your brain is always about 10 minutes ahead of you. It knows 10 minutes ahead of you based on smell, sight, energy flow. And so once you've been using this technology for a few days, anywhere your technology is, as soon as you go into the room where it is or drive up to your house, your brain will sense a space of healing. And that's really what we want to create, is we want to create somewhere in our life that is our sanctuary. We have a lot of responsibilities, we have a lot of stress, we have a lot going on, and we give a lot of ourselves, and we need to create a safe space in our lives where we can just go and have our meditation process. Our sessions on the MindFit, anyone can do it throughout the day. It's not hours and hours. Everywhere from 5 minutes to 22 minutes long. Some of them are 29 minutes. And they focus on every different possible thing that you could imagine. We even have sports performance on here, learning different languages. So your body cannot learn if it doesn't feel safe, okay? It will constantly be in survival mode, so it won't download information if it's not safe. So what the feeling of safety is coming from, that this device is giving, is the binaural waves that lower brain waves into a theta brainwave. So the whole system begins to feel safe. The mind feels safe, and now it can learn and download new information and give up toxic information that was improperly stored in the beginning. All right, well, this is Jessica Alstrom signing off from Transcendence.